all of you. I, Dr. Geeta Deswal, member team welcome you all to New Education Policy 2020 and its impact on pharmacy education in India. Today, we are honored to have with us two esteemed panelists, Dr. Ranjit Singh, Vice Chancellor, Shobit University, Gango, Uttar Pradesh, and Dr. Geer Ishaq Mohammed, Professor and Director, Center for Career Planning and Counseling at University of Kashmir, Srinagar, to discuss the new education policy 2020 in pharmaceutical sciences. The new education policy is a comprehensive policy aimed at transforming the Indian education system and making it more holistic and multidisciplinary and future ready. Our panelists will share their insights on policy and its implementation and its impact on pharmacy education. So, first of all, I would like to invite Dr. Ranjit Singh to say few words on national education policy. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Geeta. Uh, First, let me congratulate Pharmalok and Team Pharmalok for organizing this particular webinar.
Thank you
And
so much, sir.
much has been spoken on national education policy, but I think related to pharmacy, this is the first effort. So this is something wonderful. As we all know, this NEP 2020, which is in the stage of implementation now, it is aimed to revamp whole education system, including school education as well as the higher education. As far as pharmacy is concerned, yes, pharmacy will be impacted from this. And as far as I have heard that the Pharmacy Council of India, the regulatory body, is working on very exhaustively to redesign the curriculum in line with the NEP 2020. NEP 2020 is obviously it will bring instrumental changes, and as we all know that this third decade of 21st century is a decade of skills. Pharmacist is of course a skilled person, but there are so many gaps, and India being seen as pharmacy of world now, so we have to produce in universal pharmacist kind. So we need to revamp, we need to revise, we need to restructure the pharmacy curriculum, and to make it in line with the national education policy. I think the provision of national education policy, particularly multiple entry, multiple exit, and then we have multidisciplinary components. There are few in pharmacy curriculum which is in vogue now, but still we need to add more components. Then we need to work on language learning and communication skills, practical and hands-on training. Then very important component of NEP, that is problem solving and critical thinking. We need to add certain components to the curriculum where we can develop these two very important attributes in the budding pharmacist. Then social connect and field visits. It is very important. We are not connected to the society and we need to strengthen it. And we need to go for what you call as data collection from real world, to analyze it, to find out the diseases, the reasons for that, and to design drugs on the base of local needs, whatever called vocal for local. So we have to act locally and think globally. That is what NEP is all about. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your valuable thoughts with all of us. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Geer Mohammed Ishaq, sir, to share his thoughts with all of us.
Thank you, Dr. Geeta Deswal ji. Good evening, Professor Ranjit Singh ji, Vice Chancellor, Shobit University. Thank you very much for inviting me to this Samvad Karikram on national education policy and its implications on pharmacy education. As you all know that this national education policy has come after a gap of 34 years. The first policy was devised in 1968, which was followed by another policy in 1986. And then that policy was amended in 1992. And since then, this is the first policy which has come up after a gap of 34 years. And this policy is believed to revolutionize the whole higher education system in the country. As it has been said by a great leader, that destiny of a nation is shaped in its classrooms. Even former President of India, Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, has said that a life of joy and happiness is possible only on the basis of knowledge and science. Therefore, we need to give highest emphasis and importance to knowledge, to science, because education is the most powerful weapon which one can use to change the world. So, in order to change our own world, this national education policy has been framed and promulgated by the Government of India with a vision and focus on quality, excellence, relevance, access, equity, inclusion, affordability, and accountability. So, in this particular policy, all the three important stakeholders of education are going to change. That is, the student, they are going to get affected. The student who is taught, the teacher who teaches, and the curriculum which is taught. All three of them, which are the main pillars of higher education, are going to drastically change. So, everything that is worth learning will be brought out to the students to make them learn in the most modern, contemporary forms of pedagogies. And whatever we can change in the form of revolutionizing our higher education system will be done. So this national education policy, as we know, the most important thing which it offers to the students is flexibility. There is both vertical and horizontal mobility allowed to the students. And now we are discussing its impact on the pharmacy education. So personally, I believe very strongly that it can be implemented very well, very effectively in pharmacy field also. And there is no reason why pharmacy should lag behind. When a policy of this nature has come, which is going to revolutionize the whole higher education system, and we should also take this opportunity, keep pace with the changing times, and pharmacy should also take full part in this national education policy. And it should not remain behind, it should not lag behind. Whether, as mentioned by Professor Ranjit Singh, sir, whether it is the provision of multiple entry, multiple exit, or mid-term course correction, or it is the academic bank of credits, or it is the multidisciplinary and holistic education, everything has to be incorporated, involved, and engaged in the pharmaceutical science curriculum also. And this policy will focus on the concept of understanding rather than rote learning. The teaching pedagogies will change. It will lay more emphasis on experiential learning, problem solving, creative and analytical thinking, team based, project based learning, outcome based learning. So we also need to incorporate it, embrace it, emulate it, so that there will be more and more focus on skill enhancement, ability enhancement, more and more focus on continuous assessment, mentorship, guidance, equitable access and affordability. And we can also incorporate online and e-learning in our curriculum. And tech integrated learning will be embraced, because this is the age of artificial intelligence and chat gpt. So we cannot lag behind and remain aloof from tech integrated learning. Similarly, there are provisions related to socially and locally relevant education, community outreach and extension, industry orientation, internships, apprenticeships. There is more and more focus on innovation, incubation, and entrepreneurship development, and having a cafeteria model based on open elective, generic elective courses, and scholarships, fellowships, etc., within as well as outside the country. So I believe that this is the most opportune time when pharmacy should embrace and emulate all these revolutionary provisions of the national education policy. Of course, there are teething problems in the beginning. There are certain issues, certain challenges, but I'm sure we'll be in a position to overcome all the challenges. And with our collective effort, collective wisdom throughout the country, we can very well adopt and implement this policy in a time-bound manner. So these are my opening remarks about the implementation of this policy in pharmaceutical sciences. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I have some questions from audience side. So first question I would like to ask to Professor Ranjit Singh, sir. Sir, how national education policy will affect students of pharmacy?
Uh, as we already discussed, that it will give the student total flexibility, but at the same time student need to be skilled to choose things, because the multiple entry multiple exit system will give you that flexibility where you can exit at any time from the course. And Pharmacy Council of India has to revise, restructure its curriculum, so that after 1 year some certificate is given along with some If the student is able to complete 1 year with some skill courses which are there in the curriculum as elective, after 2 years it could be diploma, after 3 years it could be advanced diploma, after 4 years it will be complete B Form honors or B Form research, keeping in view the provision of the NEP 2020. So student will have total flexibility as NEP provision to go for student centric education. At the same time, teachers have to be skilled, and we need to be, as Professor Ishaq said, that we need to be attuned to the technology. We cannot lag behind. So we need to skill ourselves as far as the technology. At the same time, we need to strengthen the people connect. So overall, the student will be benefited, but he or she will be benefited only if the teachers are skilled and teachers they train themselves with the changed scenario. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, my next question to you, Gir Ishaq Muhammad, sir. Sir, what difficulties and opportunities will be faced by the current education system of pharmacy after the implementation of new education policy?
Right. Thank you very much, Dr. Geeta Deswal, for that very important question. I believe there will be more opportunities rather than difficulties which our students may face. Difficulties are faced by every new policy. Whenever any new policy is implemented, that too after such a long gap, that too with such revolutionary provisions and measures, difficulties are always there because we have to keep everything in place: the infrastructure, the funding, the faculty, the technology. So it takes time to build that up, but with the passage of time, I'm sure that we'll be in a position to overcome all difficulties, and we will come up successful, victorious in implementing this policy in a very successful manner. And then the government has given enough time to implement it. They're not saying that, okay, you have to implement it within just 2 or 3 years. It's a long term policy. This policy aims to increase the gross enrollment ratio to 50% by 2035. It seeks to abolish all the affiliated colleges and convert them into autonomous colleges or clusters, or part of a cluster of universities or multidisciplinary institutions within 15 years. So that is ample time, enough time to change themselves and come up to the expectations of the policy. Yes, as I said earlier, that teething problems are always there. Whenever we adopt a new policy framework, we switch over to a new system of education, and there are issues and challenges, but there is a conceptual framework also how to implement in a stage wise manner. It doesn't tell you to implement everything in one go simultaneously. It gives you enough time to implement it in a stage wise manner, in a very stepwise manner. So first we have to devise the policies, we have to identify the gaps and challenges, we have to see what are the financial needs, what are the needs for faculty, infrastructure, budget, and other local needs. Then we have to assign the responsibilities and fix targets and fix timelines. And then we have to fix the responsibilities among our people, among our stakeholders of higher education. And together we can do it. For example, the provision of the academic bank of credits. We need to be part of the national academic depository, the digilocker system, and all the pharmacy colleges across the country, the universities, they need to be part of this digilocker system, so that these certificates, awards, and testimonials could be digitalized, and people could retrieve them, deposit them, get them verified, testified anytime they want. So I don't think there will be much of a problem. But as mentioned by Professor Ranjit Sab, that we need to take drastic measures to make drastic changes. The Pharmacy Council of India has to come up with a new set of education regulations, because we need to make our pharmacy education focused towards two sides. That is, after you complete 3 year degree, once the student completes 3 years of his 4 year degree, in the fourth year, either he will be oriented towards the hospital settings, towards the pharmacy practice, the clinical settings, or he will be oriented towards the industry. So I believe 1 full year should be given to the industrial orientation or the hospital orientation. Like we have 1 year internship in veterinary sciences and medical sciences and all other streams of health sciences. We have a 1 year of internship. Here also we should have 1 full year of internship in the fourth year, in the final year. That is either internship in a hospital for clinical pharmacy students, or in the internship in a industry for pharmaceutical technology students. So this bi-pronged orientation needs to be given. Already Farm D is there, which is completely clinical oriented, hospital oriented. That will continue as such. But then we need to incorporate all other provisions, like making it multidisciplinary. This Pharmacy Council of India has already come up with the education regulations 2014, which have been implemented throughout the country, and all the colleges are following the same curriculum. In that, during the 8th semester, we already have 8 courses which are optional. So we can add more courses to that basket and make it multidisciplinary, because this education wants to develop holistic, all-round individuals who will be masters, who will have a fair understanding of all the subjects. So we can increase the size of this basket in the 8th semester or 7th semester and offer more number of multidisciplinary courses, because when you want to develop holistic, all-round individuals, you have to give them fair idea of statistics, of social sciences, of arts and humanities, of Indian languages, of culture. And everything has to be, it is for them to choose which one they want to go for, because the basket will be open. As of now, we have 8 courses, out of which 2 have to be chosen. Maybe we'll have more courses later, out of which four courses or more courses could be chosen. So all this needs to be discussed and deliberated upon at the Pharmacy Council of India level. They need to come up with an entirely new set of education regulations, where all these provisions will be duly incorporated, whether it is the multidisciplinary education, multiple exit, multiple entry, vertical flexibility, horizontal flexibility, whether it is the academic bank of credits, or whether it is the holistic education. So that this new education regulations, I firmly believe that it is very much practicable. It can be done in a time bound manner. And we have that huge infrastructure throughout the country, with so many colleges, so many universities running pharmaceutical science courses. When we all do it together, we can come to each other's rescue, resolve each other's issues, concerns and problems. And we can deliberate and discuss together. We have a forum, multiple forums. We have the forum of Pharmacy Council of India, Association of Pharmacy Teachers, Pharmaceutical Teachers of India, Indian Pharmaceutical Association. And every year we hold conferences, seminars, workshops through these forums. And I think this is the high time when these fora should concentrate on implementation of national education policy and devise procedures, policies, manuals, and see what are the concerns, what are the challenges. Do a SWOT analysis, this analysis of our strengths, our weaknesses, our opportunities, our challenges. So by that we can overcome all the difficulties, we can grab the opportunities, and I don't think there will be much of a problem. And let me tell you that in our UT of Jammu and Kashmir, already we provided the lead in implementation of the national education policy. Our university, for example, has already devised courses as per new education policy. Admissions have been made as per new education policy. We may not be able to implement everything in one go, but in a gradual manner, in a very sophisticated and this incremental manner, I'm sure we will be in a position to slowly and gradually take up all the provisions one by one, see what are the difficulties, what are the issues, and then overcome with our grit and determination. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. So I think we all have going to have
Over to
loads
you,
of
Dr. Geeta ma'am.
opportunities. Thank you so much, sir. So I think we all have lots of opportunities with the new education policy implementation. So my next question
Yes.
to Professor Ranjit Singh, sir. Sir, how new education policy will affect the teaching methodologies in field of pharmacy?
Thank you, Dr. Geeta. As I told earlier also that we need to prepare ourselves, all the stakeholders, whether they are students or the teachers. We need to prepare ourselves, and the teaching methodology will not completely change, but yes, we have to add more skills. For example, right now we are in a virtual meeting, a webinar, where I am also sitting with you using my mobile phone. So this is something which I never did earlier, maybe 2 3 years ago. So with the time, we are new technologies are coming, and we need to attune ourselves with the technology. Teachers need to train. As I told, skills will play a very important role in this third decade, and particularly implementation of national education policy. So we need to understand what skill is needed, and we need to upskill ourselves. Similarly, teachers can be upskilled, can be their knowledge can be enhanced by, already we have the provision of faculty development programs, as Professor Gir Muhammad Ashaq just told, that we have different forms where we can devise such program where we can upskill the teachers and train the trainer kind of concept, so that they are ready to take up the challenges what is mentioned in the national education policy. And the way of teaching will change. Obviously, teacher will be a facilitator. Self learning will play a very important role, because self learning will lead to self efficacy, and only then you will be successful. So teacher need to train, and that training will be dynamic. It is not so that you got get training at day one and then it will be throughout the year. No, you have to be dynamic, and you have to learn things all the time, so that you can give student what they want, what you call student centric learning. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Absolutely right. My next question to you, Gir Ishaq Mohammed, sir. Sir, how national educational policy will affect PG and PhD scholars of pharmaceutical sciences?
Yes, thank you. This is a very important question, and this is the area where the our education is going to be getting affected the most, because as per the national education policy, the undergraduate degree will be either of 3 or 4 year duration with multiple exit and entry options. And as mentioned by Professor Ranjit Singh sir, a certificate will be awarded after 1 year, a diploma after 2 years, an advanced diploma after 3 years, and a bachelor's degree after 4 years, if accepted by the Pharmacy Council of India. And then the 4 year multidisciplinary bachelor's program shall be the preferred option. There is also that this 4 year program can be made integrated. It will be either honors or research. And with research, also, this 4 year undergraduate program can be taken as per the new education policy. So the Pharmacy Council of India needs to decide at what stage we are going to offer this research, whether we are going for a 5 year integrated program, or whether we are opting for a 6 year integrated program. Because as of today, we have a 4 year B Pharm degree course, 2 year M Pharm degree course, a post degree course. So whether we will continue with 4+2, or we will align with national education policy and go for 4+1 or 3+2. National education policy says 3 year undergraduation plus 2 years of masters, or 4 years of undergraduation with research and 1 year of masters. This is what national education policy has devised. So we need to take a decision. Our Pharmacy Council of India needs to take a decision whether we are going to offer a 5 year master's degree program integrated with UG, or a 6 year master's degree program. And after that, as per new education policy, there is an integrated 5 year bachelor's oblique or master's program. So undertaking a PhD shall require either a master's degree or a 4 year bachelor's degree with research. As per the current regulations on the new education policy, their PhD will be offered after 4 years bachelor's degree with research, or with a master's degree. So here we need to have this, while we can also adopt this. There is no problem in adopting it, that we can have a this 4 year degree program with honors or with research, and then we can have an 1 or 2 year master's degree program which can be integrated. And there will be no MPhil. Earlier also we had no MPhil in pharmaceutical sciences. So after masters, there will be direct admission to PhD. So if there is no problem with any other stream of education, I don't see there will be any issue. Maybe some deviation may be there, because as we have seen in case of this medical sciences, some deviation has been discussed. So we can also have a slight deviation, that instead of having a 5 year integrated master's program, we can have a 6 year integrated master's program, and then the person will be directly eligible for PhD. But yes, it is a good thing that undergraduate students will also be accustomed to research. They will also be familiarized with research and undergraduate level in their final year of study. This is a very good thing, because they need to understand what are research ethics, what is research communication, what is research publication, scientific publication, how do you present, how do you publish papers, articles. So if that exposure is given to our undergraduate students in their final year, it's a very welcome step. And then they can have the master's degree program program of 1 or 2 years duration with research. So again, it is a welcome step to introduce research at the UG level and then go for full-fledged master's program, which is fully research oriented. So we can either have UG with honors or UG with research, followed by masters with completely research orientation, and then followed by PhD. So here the change that will happen is that research will be incorporated and it will be introduced much early, and UG students will also be in a position to publish papers, to understand research, to review the literature and see what are the various legal, ethical issues involved in research. And then they will come up with better researchers in their master's degree program. They will come up with more informed and well organized researchers in their PhD program. So the quality of research will improve, the output of research will improve, because at an earlier stage they will be exposed to research. So here also I see more of an opportunity than a difficulty, than a challenge. And with that, the it has always been a demand that students always wanted that there should be some kind of research orientation at the UG level. And now the national education policy has brought it on the platter, and they will be familiarized with the pros and cons of research at a much earlier stage. So that way I think it is going to be a welcome step for the students and scholars of pharmacy.
Thank you so much, sir. And thank you so much for clearing so many doubts of all of us. And I think it will gonna benefit all of us who are joined today with us. And as we come to the end of this insightful and informative discussion, I would like to extend a heartfelt vote of thanks to our esteemed panelists, Dr. Ranjit Singh and Dr. Geer Mohammad Ishaq sir. We are truly honored to have had the opportunity to hear from two distinguished educationists who shared their valuable insights on the new education policy and its impact on the field of pharmacy education. Your knowledge and experience and critical analysis have enriched our understanding of this important policy and its implementation for the future of pharmacy education. So, your thoughtful answers to our questions have helped us gain a deeper understanding of the practical aspects of the policy and the challenges involved in its implementation. We are grateful to your time, effort, and contribution to this discussion, which has been enlightened and thought provoking. So, once again, thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, before you close it, I think it is very important to mention the because nowadays we are preparing our youth for the industry, for the corporates. So while we impart them education in the classrooms, while we teach them the curricular content, it is very equally important that we give them the soft skills which are required in today's world, the contemporary world, because the nature of the job markets has changed globally after COVID-19. The demands of the corporates have changed. So we need to give them the right kind of training in foundational skills, quantitative aptitude, IT proficiency, language skills, communication skills, interpersonal skills, and many other soft skills which are needed by the industry these days. So more of industrial orientation, more of training in industry, which was mentioned by Professor Ranjit Singh in his initial comments, that skill enhancement, entrepreneurship development, startup culture, incubation of new ideas, that also needs to be harnessed in pharmacy education. We need to have proper policies and plans for startup culture, for innovation incubation, entrepreneurship development, skill enhancement of our graduates. So this is what I thought important to add before I say thanks for inviting me,
Definitely,
and
sir.
many thanks to both you as well as Professor Ranjit sir. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
Thank,
Thank
much.
you so much, sir.
thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for sparing your valuable time for all of us. Thank you so much, sir, once again.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you. Bye.